Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Royal Sussex Squad, the one place where we refuse to let the tabloids twist the truth, and where we celebrate Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, for who they really are. Independent, strong, compassionate and determined to live their lives with purpose and integrity. Today we're diving into yet another round of royal drama cooked up by the palace-friendly press, and honestly I'm not surprised. But I am fired up, because the same tired script is playing out, and it's time to set the record straight once again. So here's what's going on. According to Us Weekly, there's still this endless war between the Sussexes and the Windsors. Nothing new, right? But they're back at it, rehashing old stories and adding a fresh layer of palace spin. Apparently, William and Harry have no relationship left. We're talking two brothers who haven't spoken in over 2 years. Bridges have been burned, and the future King William has apparently reached a point of no return with Harry. And I don't know about you, but when I hear that, I just feel this heavy sadness. Because these are two brothers who grew up together, who faced tragedy together, and who were supposed to have each other's backs for life. But now they're completely cut off. And whose choice is that? Because if you ask me, Harry has made it crystal clear that he's open to healing and conversation, but only if it's honest and respectful. No more playing along with the palace's lies and cover-ups. But the press won't tell you that, will they? Instead, they'll tell you that Harry's the one who's betraying the family by daring to speak his truth. They say he's monetizing the royal brand in America, that he's causing hurt and betrayal by sharing his lived experiences. I mean, can you believe it? The man was born into that system, he lived it, he survived it, but now that he's talking about it, suddenly he's the problem. It's typical of the palace's playbook: punish the truth-tellers, protect the crown. And of course, whenever Harry's name comes up, Meghan's not far behind. According to these sources, Meghan has so much influence over Harry that she's encouraging him to push them away. You see what they're doing there? Blame the woman? It's classic. Meghan's the easy target for a family that refuses to own its role in the breakdown of relationships. But let's be real, Meghan didn't break these brothers apart. Those cracks were there long before she came along. All Meghan did was stand by her husband as he finally had the courage to face the truth. She helped him find his voice, and she stood beside him when he used it. And that's what's really driving the palace crazy. Because for years, Harry was the spare. He was the one expected to smile and wave and never rock the boat, but Meghan helped him see that he deserves more than that. He deserves happiness, peace and a chance to live life on his own terms. That's not a betrayal, it's liberation, and if the palace can't handle that, well, that's on them. But oh, it gets even juicier, squad. Apparently, the mention of Meghan's name in palace circles causes Kate stress. Can you believe that? The press says Kate was scarred by Meghan's interview in 2022. Scarred because Meghan dared to tell the truth about that crying incident. Let's not forget what really happened. For years, the British tabloids painted Meghan as the difficult diva who made poor, delicate Kate cry. And Meghan let it slide until she couldn't anymore. In 2022, Meghan finally set the record straight. It was Kate who made her cry, not the other way around, and she wasn't cruel about it. She didn't drag Kate's name through the mud, she just said, "Here's the truth," and moved on. But the palace can't handle the truth. Kate, we're told, was devastated that the world might think she's mean. Imagine that. Meghan was crucified by the press for daring to marry a prince while being biracial, for being too confident, too successful, too independent. But Kate's devastated because someone said she made a bride cry in the days before her wedding. That's the level of privilege and fragility we're dealing with here. And let's not forget, this whole idea that Kate can't retaliate, that she's some kind of damsel in distress, is a joke. Kate has the entire British press working overtime to protect her image. She doesn't need to retaliate because the press does it for her day in and day out. And yet they still want to frame Meghan as the mean girl, the homewrecker, the one who turned Harry against his family. Enough already. You know what I see? I see Meghan, a woman who's been unfairly targeted, rising above it all. I see her continuing to focus on her work, her family, her projects. Like the Archwell Foundation, like her children's book, like her podcasts, and the initiatives she and Harry champion. I see her living her life with grace and purpose. And I see Harry standing beside her, stronger than ever, because he's finally free from the palace's toxic control. Meanwhile, William is apparently living in fear, afraid that Harry will reveal more of his violent or sleazy behaviour. Now, let's pause for a second. Why is William so afraid? If there's nothing to hide, why the panic? Because the truth has a way of surfacing, and William knows it. The palace has spent decades hiding behind carefully managed images, but Harry and Meghan have pulled back the curtain. And once you've seen behind that curtain, you can't unsee it. So they're scrambling. They're terrified of what else might come out. And they're desperate to keep Harry silent. But here's the thing. Harry isn't some little brother they can bully into submission anymore. He's a grown man, a husband, a father, and he's got nothing left to lose. He's already walked away from the titles, the pomp, the endless protocol. What's left for them to threaten him with? Nothing. And that's exactly why they're panicking. They also threw in this little line about the Invictus Games in 2027. Like Meghan probably won't attend because 65% of Brits dislike her. Let me tell you something. Meghan doesn't care about the approval ratings of a country that treated her like dirt. She cares about her family, her health, and the veterans and athletes she and Harry work so hard to support. She's not skipping out on the Invictus Games because she's scared of public opinion. She's focused on what matters, always has been, always will be. And this idea that the only time the Fab Four will ever see each other again is at Charles's funeral. It's so twisted, so morbid, and it shows just how broken the institution really is. Because even in the face of death, the palace still cares more about optics and protocol than genuine healing. And if you ask me, Harry and Meghan are better off staying far away from that toxic environment. They've got a real family to protect. Their children, Archie and Lily, who are growing up in a home filled with love, not palace drama. As for the people who keep whining that Harry should just stay quiet, let's be real, that's the oldest trick in the book. Stay quiet, don't rock the boat, don't air the family's dirty laundry. But where was that loyalty when Harry and Meghan were being thrown under the bus by palace aides leaking stories to the tabloids? Where was the protection when Meghan was pregnant and suicidal and the press was calling her every name under the sun? Silence didn't protect them. It nearly destroyed them. Speaking up was their only way out. And they didn't just speak for themselves. They spoke for everyone who's ever been silenced by a system that doesn't care about their well-being. They spoke for everyone who's ever been gaslit, manipulated or scapegoated. That's why their story resonates far beyond royal watchers and gossip columns. It's about human dignity and the power to reclaim your narrative. Harry and Meghan have shown us all what that looks like. They're not perfect and they don't pretend to be. But they're real, they're authentic. And they're committed to living a life that aligns with their values, no matter what the British tabloids or the palace mouthpieces have to say about it. So here we are, squad. Another day, another round of palace spin, another chance for us to see through it all and stand up for the truth. Because Harry and Meghan deserve better. They've been through the fire and they've come out stronger, more united and more determined to live life on their terms. And that's something worth celebrating. As we wrap up this episode, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for refusing to buy into the palace propaganda, for supporting Harry and Meghan, and for keeping their real story alive. If you're as fed up with the nonsense as I am, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment and let me know how you feel about this latest round of palace drama, because I know you've got thoughts. And if you want to help us keep the Sussex truth alive, consider donating via Super Thanks. Every contribution helps us keep going, keep growing, and keep standing up for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Because, at the end of the day, we know who the real villains are. And it's not Harry and Meghan. It's the system that tried to break them. But they're still standing, still thriving. And we're going to keep telling their story, no matter how many times the palace tries to rewrite it. Here we observe a human drama unfolding on a global stage, a story filled with complexities, nuances and deeply personal struggles. It's a narrative that has captivated the world, sparking countless debates and opinions. This is the story of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, a couple who dared to challenge tradition and forge their own path. Their union, their decisions, and their subsequent journey have been met with both admiration and criticism. A story so often viewed through a clouded lens, distorted by media sensationalism and public perception. The constant glare of the spotlight has made it difficult to discern the truth from the carefully crafted narratives. Our aim is to find clarity amidst the noise, to cut through the layers of speculation and uncover the underlying realities. We seek to understand the motivations, the challenges, and the human experiences that have shaped their choices. To understand the many forces at play, the intricate web of relationships, expectations, and historical context that have influenced their decisions. It's a complex puzzle with many pieces, each contributing to the overall picture. This is not just a tale of royalty and tradition, of palaces and protocols. It's a story that resonates far beyond the gilded gates of Buckingham Palace. But a story of family, of the bonds that unite us and the conflicts that can tear us apart. It's a story about the complexities of familial relationships under extraordinary circumstances, a story of love and deep division, of finding connection and experiencing profound loss. It's a testament to the enduring power of human emotion. These individuals navigate immense pressure, the weight of expectation, and the constant scrutiny of the world, all under the relentless public eye, where every action is dissected and every word is analysed. Their choices and motives constantly scrutinised, judged, and often misunderstood. Their lives are an open book, subject to endless interpretation. The tabloids create a loud narrative, often fueled by speculation and sensationalism, often painting a skewed picture, distorting reality to fit a predetermined agenda. Here we look beyond headlines, beyond the surface-level narratives that dominate the media landscape, piecing together a more balanced view, seeking to understand the complexities and contradictions that lie beneath the surface. To understand the true cost, the personal sacrifices, and the emotional toll of living a life in the spotlight. Of living in the global spotlight where every move is watched, every word is recorded, and every decision is scrutinized. Our exploration seeks fairness and empathy, a deeper understanding of the human experience behind the headlines. From the gilded cages of royalty, the constraints and expectations that come with a life of privilege, to their search for a different path, a life of authenticity and purpose, free from the constraints of tradition. Let us begin this observation with open minds and a willingness to challenge our own assumptions. Of the royal Sussex squad's evolving story, a narrative that continues to unfold with each passing day, their quest for a life of their own, a journey filled with both challenges and triumphs as they navigate the complexities of the modern world. The British tabloids are a powerful force, crafting stories that often repeat. Old themes resurface, accusations, demands and conflict, recycled for public consumption. The drama is maintained to keep the conflict alive and sell more papers. Notice the pattern minor incidents are magnified, creating an impression of constant turmoil. It's often the same story, reframed for emotional impact. This daily churn shapes public opinion, casting Harry and Meghan as the source of discord. The institution remains blameless, a carefully maintained imbalance. We must observe this mechanism to understand its influence. Once, Prince William and Prince Harry symbolised unity, a comfort to many. Beneath the surface, however, strong currents shifted, leading to a visible rift. The reasons are complex duty, love and differing views on royal life. Harry's marriage to Meghan marked a turning point, introducing a desire for change. This wasn't always accepted within the traditional structure. The institution's rigidity contributed to the growing distance, resulting in a public separation. Two brothers, once close, now walk separate paths. This division highlights the immense pressures of modernizing an ancient institution. The human cost of such rifts is significant and lasting. Prince Harry embarks on a profound quest, a journey not of conquest but of introspection and reconciliation. He seeks honest conversation and genuine healing within his family, a restoration of bonds strained by years of public scrutiny and private grievances. The path to healing, however, is rarely straightforward. He wants past hurts acknowledged, the wounds that have festered beneath the surface of royal life. This isn't a call for retribution, a desire to settle scores, but for resolution. He envisions a future where understanding replaces resentment. His memoirs and interviews, often met with controversy, are at their core attempts to communicate his truth, to share his perspective on events that have shaped his life and his relationships. He hopes to explain his choices, the decisions he's made that have led him down this unconventional path. He calls for accountability, a willingness to confront the issues that have plagued the royal family for generations. He advocates for open dialogue, a space where difficult conversations can take place without fear of judgment or reprisal. He wants to address the breakdown of trust, the erosion of faith that has fractured familial bonds. The palace, however, with its long-standing traditions and protocols, often prioritizes image control above all else, carefully managing its public persona. It focuses on maintaining a facade of unity, presenting a picture-perfect image to the world. Difficult truths are often sidestepped, avoided in favor of maintaining the status quo. Public relations takes precedence, shaping the narrative to protect the institution. This creates ongoing conflict, a tension that simmers beneath the surface. It's a battle between personal needs and institutional demands, a struggle to reconcile individual desires with the expectations of the crown. Harry seeks understanding and change, a transformation of the royal family's approach to dealing with internal conflict. The firm, however, prioritizes stability and image, safeguarding its legacy and reputation. This is the challenging terrain they navigate, a complex landscape of tradition, duty, and personal desire. It's a clash of tradition and modernity, a struggle to find a balance between the old ways and the demands of a changing world. Meghan Markle is often unfairly cast. It's a narrative that has taken hold in the media and public perception, a portrayal that doesn't fully capture the complexities of the situation. As the disruptor in the royal family, she's become the easy scapegoat, the one to blame for shifts and changes within the institution. Blaming her simplifies deeper, systemic issues. It allows for a convenient target, avoiding the need to confront more profound problems and long-standing family tensions. These tensions predate Meghan's arrival and are rooted in the history and structure of the royal family itself. As an outsider, entering a world with rigid traditions and expectations, Meghan became a convenient target, an easy explanation for any perceived deviation from the norm. For anxieties about change, her presence stirred up underlying fears about the future of the monarchy. The press has used cruel stereotypes against her, often relying on sensationalism and biased reporting, based on race, perpetuating harmful prejudices and discriminatory narratives, and nationality. Her American background was often used to paint her as an outsider, unfamiliar with British customs and traditions. This fits a broader pattern, a historical trend. Women of colour marrying into powerful families throughout history face intense scrutiny and blame. They are often held to impossible standards and judged harshly for any perceived misstep. Meghan is depicted as the sole cause, the catalyst for all the changes and challenges within the royal family. Of Harry's new perspective, as if he were incapable of forming his own opinions and desires, a burden no one should bear. It's an unfair and unrealistic expectation to place on any individual. Yet Harry has spoken about his desire for change, his longing for a different kind of life, long before Meghan. These desires were present long before their relationship began. Meghan has supported him, offering encouragement and strength as he navigates his own journey, in finding his voice and path. She has empowered him to speak his truth and pursue his own happiness. Still, the narrative often ignores this, conveniently overlooking the agency and autonomy of Prince Harry, preferring a simpler, damaging story. A story that places blame squarely on one person, avoiding the complexities of reality. The bridesmaid dress story between Meghan and Kate Middleton often resurfaces. Initial reports claimed Meghan made Kate cry, shaping negative perceptions early on. Meghan later clarified she was the one left in tears, but this correction received little attention. The negative narrative had already taken hold. This episode highlights the stark contrast in media treatment. Kate is protected, Meghan criticised. Kate's image is curated and defended. Meghan faces relentless scrutiny. The flower girl dress story is just one example of persistent negative coverage. This disparity reveals a significant bias in media portrayal. Away from royal constraints, Harry and Meghan are building a new life in California. They've established a family and focus on meaningful work through the Archewell Foundation. Their efforts support mental health, ethical technology, and causes they believe in. Creative projects, documentaries, podcasts, memoirs allow them to share their story directly. This shift gives them control over their narrative. Their journey is about breaking free from an untenable system for their well-being. They seek authenticity and purpose outside inherited roles. Their resilience in crafting a new life is truly noteworthy. The palace remains anxious about further revelations from Harry or Meghan. This anxiety reflects a desire to control the narrative and avoid scrutiny. Meghan's absence from events is often spun negatively, but her focus is now on family and meaningful work. Harry and Meghan's story transcends royal gossip, touching on fairness, dignity and courage. It's about challenging outdated systems and seeking a more authentic life. We must look beyond tabloid narratives to recognize their resilience and commitment to change. Supporting truth and fairness means acknowledging complexity and rejecting unfair treatment. Their journey continues, a testament to hope, courage, and authenticity. Thanks for joining me, Royal Sussex Squad. Stay strong, stay true, and remember, love always wins. Until next time.